All right, guys, we're back again for another webinar here for the Fitwell Who's Who of our presenting faculty. So I'm here with Eleni Psillakis from Brazen Health, who is one of our educators on the wellness platform, wellness side of things. So we're excited to have Eleni on the platform. She's got a wealth of knowledge and experience in mental health and that side of things. So we wanted to know a little bit more about Eleni. So Eleni, welcome to this segment of the webinar.
Hi, Tarek. Thank you. And it's Brazen Growth, but I'm sure people will find me anyway.
Okay. All right. A bit more about yourself and Brazen Growth.
Yeah, sure. So I have been part of the fitness industry for about 30 years, both as a group exercise instructor and a personal trainer, but more on the education side in the last 5 years. I was involved in, alongside with the Inside Out Institute for Eating Disorders, in formulating the guidelines for the fitness industry that AusActive have adopted around people at risk of eating disorders, and how exercise professionals can communicate and identify and refer clients that they believe are at risk. So I was involved in setting up those guideline documents, and also have written a research paper that was published on the online Juniper health website around how the knowledge and experience that fitness professionals have on eating disorders and clients, how they know how to identify and communicate with a person they think might be at risk. So I was first author on that paper. I also have lived experience of an eating disorder and have educated and still educate the community on mental health issues. So that's my background around there.
What a rich background, and specifically around eating disorders is a huge one, by the dysmorphia and everything else that sort of spawns from that. Tell us a little bit more about then your involvement with Fitwell and the topics that you're bringing to the platform.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be part of the Fitwell community. The topics that I'll be talking about are mainly around how, we use numbers a lot in tracking progress of clients, and they're all sorts of numbers. And my topics are centered around what might be more appropriate tracking methods for someone who you've identified at risk of an eating disorder or even depression. If someone's got low self-worth, and that can lead to a number of different mental illnesses, if we use numbers to track, that may have a negative impact on their mental health. And also I talk about maybe more appropriate words that we can use in our communication, as well as the communication that we put out there in terms of images that might negatively impact someone's mental health. So my topic is centered around those sorts of things, and also how you might identify if a person is at risk.
Beautiful. So there's sort of three things there: the looking out for those red flags, and then obviously being able to have a plan for that. No doubt that you dive deeply into that and provide some avenues for those on the Fitwell platform, the subscribers, to learn more about, because it's really essential, isn't it, to really identify almost like a mental first aid, where we focus often on the physical side of things. We may look and judge someone or not understand, and peel away those mental barriers.
Exactly. And I think that a lot of people in the fitness industry feel that this is out of their scope of practice. And when you think about it, we screen for physical diseases or injuries. And if we're looking and talking about a whole person, then there are certain things that we can use to screen for mental illness. And it's not that you're going to be a counsellor or anything, but just like a physical injury or physical condition, you would refer or get clearance. It's no different. So it's just knowing mainly how to communicate so you can make those identifications, and then knowing a referral pathway so you can properly support that person.
So that communication piece is really important. The soft skills of what I call soft skills of coaching.
Yeah.
Terrific opportunities for trainers to really embrace that side of things. And they may not have all clients with these issues, but I suppose it creates a greater awareness in and around the potentially mental fitness side of their clients as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you mean by the numbers or that being an issue?
Yeah, I can actually give an example to illustrate that point. So, if we use, say, numbers for macros when you're, guiding around nutrition, and really we should be, as Certificate 4 trained fitness professionals, not be giving out meal plans, but using the Australian Dietary Guidelines, unless the trainer has got a degree or a certification in nutrition or a dietitian. But say you're setting macros or you're setting weight loss targets or girths even, for someone who is at risk, a lot of anxiety will be evident if they're not hitting those targets that are set. And as an example, and I'll de-identify, a person communicated with me that they were set macro targets once, and this person had a history of self-harm and of an eating disorder. And by self-harm, that term is not suicide. If you're going to talk about suicide, you actually use the word, but self-harm is in cutting yourself or burning or any of those other behaviours. And because they weren't hitting their macro targets, they found themselves self-harming again. And that might not be communicated to the trainer. So it's that they were feeling that they weren't good enough because they weren't hitting the targets. Okay. That's an example. So, I think it's really important to be aware of the signs that they may not be obvious signs. It may not be in body shape, size or weight, but the other ways that a person talks about themselves, and, you might notice a change in mood. There are so many other signs we can be using to identify, okay, this person might be at risk of that, but just to be aware of those sorts of impacts of numbers that we use as tracking.
Yeah, being paralysed by those numbers and the expectations that may come from that, whereas it becomes more of an art form. I can hear that.
And there's so many other progress measures we can use, like has the person's mood improved? Are they showing enjoyment of the program? Are they sleeping better? Are they talking more positively about other things in their life? Is their strength improving? Are they turning up for sessions? There's so many other progress measures that we can be using rather than numbers, and the improvement in numbers will come, but we don't use them as tracking.
So the quantifiable side of things versus the qualitative as well that you'd get from questions and asking questions is paramount. It sounds like you've got a system that you're developing, and for those trainers to understand body dysmorphia and disorders as such. So that's going to be great for those on the platform to learn more about that and potentially explore a way to work within the guidelines, which is very exciting, like you mentioned.
Yeah, and you can get those guidelines from AusActive. I've got them on my Grace and Growth website, and also the Inside Out Institute for Eating Disorders should have them on their website as well.
Very exciting. Yeah, this is great to have for as I said, trainers or professionals in the fitness health space to have that avenue where they can have the confidence of accessing that level of knowledge that's applied in real sessions in real time and working within a scope of practice. So tell me a little bit more about your, I suppose, perspective on Fitwell. Are you excited for it? How do you see it impacting the industry, the fitness industry?
I think it's fantastic because the information delivered by so many great professionals that are part of the platform is in those small chunks. And as an educator, I know that we retain things better in small chunks. But the other thing I'm excited about is because you've included the mental health aspect along with all the other wealth of information that the other educators provide on the platform, you do get a more holistic view of how you train a whole person.
Yeah.
And I think, it's all on one platform. So to me, the Fitwell platform is exactly how I approach clients, is, thinking of their mental health, their physical health, their strength, their technique, everything like that, everything is on that one platform. And I'm really excited about that. I think it's a great way to educate people.
Wonderful. No, thanks for sharing that, and not just propping up the Fitwell ego, but it's great having you as part of it as well. So we're excited to be launching your sessions, along with many others. As you said, we've got over 40 now as of 20th of June 2022. So we're pretty excited for it, and really appreciate your time, Eleni, to give it a lot. And you've got a wealth of knowledge, and we look forward for you to share your pearls of wisdom on the Fitwell platform.
Thanks, Tarek. And yeah, I hope a lot of people make use of the platform because it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.